Have you ever felt like you're wasting your time waiting for someone else to help you without knowing what to do next? Have you ever wondered why your life isn't moving forward despite waiting for so long? Today on Kunzy Podcast English, we will uncover why waiting is truly an illusion and how you can stop it now to start taking control of your life. Welcome to Kunzy Podcast English, where inspiration and strength fuel your journey of personal growth. Have you ever wondered why you haven't changed anything, even though you've thought about it hundreds of times? Have you ever felt full of determination inside, but your feet just wouldn't move? Have you ever told yourself you would start when someone helps you, or when the timing is better? And then, day after day, you still haven't started, and inside you feel empty. Many of us are living with the illusion that if we wait long enough, something will happen. Someone will show up, an opportunity will fall from the sky, and everything will become easier. But the truth is different. No miracle will occur. No one is coming to rescue you. No one knows what you need if you don't speak up. No one will act on your behalf if you don't take action yourself. We grow up believing that life is fair, that if we try hard and wait patiently, we will eventually be rewarded. But no one teaches us that hope without action is just a form of delay disguised as comforting logic. You can wait a lifetime for opportunities and still watch others move ahead simply because they dared to act while you were still hesitating. I once knew a girl who dreamed of becoming a fashion designer. She could draw beautifully, her ideas were creative, and she always told me that one day she would launch her own brand. But for years, she only sketched in her notebook. She said she needed more time, more money, a partner. But she did nothing to move closer to her dream. She waited for the perfect condition, but that condition never came. She wasn't lazy or untalented. She was simply stuck in a mental trap that many people fall into. The trap of waiting for help from the outside, waiting for family support, waiting for a mentor to appear, waiting for investors, waiting until everything becomes more favorable. But while she waited, time passed and her dream stayed on paper. The truth is, waiting doesn't make you more mature or stronger. It only pulls you further away from your true self. You lose touch with your initial spark. You lose your sense of urgency, and you become accustomed to delaying, to inaction, to hoping passively. Many people say they don't do something because they lack money or opportunity, but the deeper reason is they lack belief in themselves. They think they're not good enough to start unless someone else validates their worth. They wait for someone to see them, to believe in them, before they can believe in themselves. The real danger isn't just the waiting. It's tying your life's value to someone else's decision. I once heard a man, nearly 40, say that he would change his life when someone invested in his business idea. He said he had everything planned out, just missing someone to believe in it. But I knew he had been saying that for 8 years. He never pitched his plan, never sought partners, never actively looked for funding. He just waited. When you live in a state of waiting for too long, it becomes your identity. You start to think of yourself as someone who's just unlucky, or not yet in the right moment, or not equipped enough. But that's just a way to justify your hesitation. Because if you truly wanted it, if you were truly ready, you'd take that small first step, no matter how little it seems. Life doesn't hand you anything just because you're nice or have potential. Life only gives to those who dare to take, those who rise without needing a push, those who step outside their comfort zone without needing a sign. What you need is not more time or more help. What you need is a clear decision that you will stop waiting. Waiting is not active patience. It's silent surrender. You don't say it out loud, but you've already retreated. You don't act, but in your heart, you hope someone will change the situation for you. But you must understand this. No one is obligated to save you. No one has to show up at the perfect time to lift you up. You are the only one who must do that. I know this might be hard to hear, but it's the truth. No one owes you an opportunity. No one owes you support. And the longer you wait, the more you surrender your power. The longer you wait, the more you forget that the strength has always been in your hands. And one day, you will look back and wonder why you didn't start sooner, why you waited so long. Waiting one more day is losing one more day. Waiting one more week is losing another chance. And sometimes you just need to act, even when nothing is perfect, because action is the only way forward. So if you're waiting for something, a sign, a green light, someone to help, let this be your answer. It's time to stop. Don't wait anymore. Start now. Your journey won't be perfect. There will be mistakes, there will be challenges, but it will be real, and it will be yours. Your strength doesn't come from what you have. It comes from the decision to stop waiting and to begin even before you feel ready. There's one truth most people don't realize until it's too late. Every time you hesitate, every day you delay, another opportunity quietly slips through your fingers. Life doesn't pause for anyone. While you're still doubting, the world has already moved on. While you're debating whether to start, someone else is already stepping up, claiming the rewards that could have been yours. Waiting doesn't just cost you time, it costs you yourself. You begin to question your abilities. You wonder why you're not making progress. Then you fall into a loop inaction, guilt, and more inaction. And slowly, you lose your confidence, your drive, and the courage you once had when you dared to dream. You think you're just waiting for a better time, but in truth, you're trading your future for a fleeting sense of safety in the present. The price of procrastination isn't small. According to a study from the University of Scranton, only 8% of people actually achieve the goals they set each year. The rest either give up halfway or never even begin, not because they're not good enough, but because they keep waiting. I once met a man in his 50s. He had dreamed of writing a book since he was young. He said the story had lived in his mind for over 20 years, but he never felt ready. He told himself he'd begin once the kids grew up, once work settled down, once he had more free time, but that someday never arrived. Now, he hasn't written a single page, and his eyes carry a quiet weight of regret. There is no pain greater than realizing you had a lifetime to begin yet did nothing. Waiting makes you dependent. You start hoping someone else will help you. You wish for someone to notice your talent, to guide you, to open doors for you. But life doesn't work that way. No one owes you anything. And the longer you wait, the more power you give away power that should have always belonged to you. Let's be honest. In the workplace, those who take initiative are valued far more than those who sit and wait to be assigned a task. In business, those who start early, even imperfectly, have far more chances of success than those who wait for ideal conditions. And in life, those who step out of their comfort zone, even if they fail, learn far more than those who sit back and only imagine. A Harvard survey once revealed that most people over 40 regret not the mistakes they made, but the things they never tried. What they mourn the most Is this not starting sooner? And that kind of waiting doesn't just steal your time, it steals the person you could have become. You might not feel the consequences of waiting right away, but look back 5 years ago, 3 years ago. What did you want to do? Learn a new language, start a YouTube channel, launch a blog, build a business. And what did you do with those dreams? If you had started then, your life might already be different now. But if you still haven't started, you're continuing to pay the price every single day. Don't let another day pass in silence. Don't let your life be boxed in by the words, "what if?" Because the cost of waiting isn't just missed opportunities, it's the version of yourself that you'll never meet. Taking action today doesn't guarantee instant success, but it does guarantee that you'll begin to rise beyond the stagnant version of yourself. And that alone is the first, most valuable victory. There comes a moment in every life that changes everything. It's the moment you stop waiting for someone else and start believing in yourself. When you no longer look for rescue, when you stop hoping the conditions will be perfect, when you no longer wait for praise or permission, but quietly rise and take the first step. That is when you realize you are the only one who can truly change your life. Self-reliance does not mean isolation. It means you don't need anyone else's approval to live up to your potential. It's when you stop blaming your past, your circumstances, or other people, and instead begin to build. Even if it's just one small brick at a time, every day you lay it down, little by little, and slowly you'll begin to see the fortress you've built with your own hands. There are people who have stood at the very edge of failure, with nothing in their pockets and no one beside them, and yet they kept going. Oprah Winfrey was once a little girl growing up in poverty and abuse, but she did not let her past define her future. She began as a small-time radio host, faced countless racial and gender biases, and became one of the most powerful women in the world. No one came to save her. She saved herself through willpower, discipline, and relentless action. You may think you need money, connections, or support, but the first thing you truly need is inner strength, the ability to rise every time you fall, the habit of not making excuses or delaying action, the courage to begin even when you're not ready, and the persistence to keep going even when results don't show up right away. Self-reliance shifts you from victim to creator. You stop asking why things are so hard and start asking what you can do to overcome them. You don't wait for opportunity to knock. You go out and knock on hundreds of doors. One of them will open, but only if you keep moving forward. There are people who have lost everything and were expected to stay down. But because they chose to take responsibility, because they believed in their own capacity, they turned their pain into power. Nelson Mandela was imprisoned for 27 years, but he did not allow those walls to confine his spirit. He studied, he wrote, he reflected, and when he walked free, he led South Africa into a new era. What made that possible? His belief in the power of the human spirit when it chooses not to give up. Self-reliance is not an easy path, but it is the only path that guarantees true growth, real strength, and ultimate freedom. Because when you depend on others, you give away your power. But when you rely on yourself, you take back the steering wheel of your life. Every time you solve a problem on your own, you build another layer of trust in yourself. Every time you take action without being pushed, you strengthen the muscle of discipline. And day by day, you begin to feel it clearly. You are no longer who you used to be. You are becoming a stronger version of yourself, a more independent version, no longer ruled by fear or doubt. Self-reliance is not a one-time decision. It's a lifestyle choice, a choice to stop waiting for a miracle and start creating your own. And the greatest miracle of all is this: you rise above who you were yesterday. Small actions, big changes. There's a powerful truth that most people overlook. You don't need a dramatic comeback to transform your life. You only need one small step and the courage to take it every single day. In a world obsessed with instant success and big wins, we've forgotten the quiet strength of small, consistent actions. Too many people wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or some burst of magical inspiration before they start. But the truth is, change doesn't begin with a leap. It begins with a single step, humble, ordinary, but persistent. Imagine someone who dreams of writing a book but doesn't know where to start. If they write just 200 words a day, a number so small almost anyone can do it by the end of the year, they'll have over 70,000 words. That's a book. No need for big inspiration. No need for hours of free time. Just 15 minutes a day. That's all it takes to create something lasting. Want to be healthier? Don't aim to run 10 kilometers tomorrow. Start by walking for 10 minutes after dinner. Do it daily until it becomes part of you. Then naturally, without forcing yourself, you'll level up because you've become the kind of person who moves daily, not someone who's trying hard to lose weight. Small actions are like seeds. When you plant one each day, you won't see anything at first, but over time, sprouts appear. Then one day, you'll stand in a garden you built from those tiny, almost invisible efforts. The story of James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, is a living example. After nearly dying in a high school accident, James suffered memory loss and struggled academically. He didn't rebuild his life with a massive plan. He started sleeping 5 minutes earlier, organizing his desk, doing light workouts. Slowly, his mind recovered. His grades improved. Years later, he became one of the most influential voices in self-development, all because of small actions, repeated daily. Tiny habits lead to massive transformation because they don't just produce results, they shape identity. Every small step sends a signal to your brain: I am a person who takes action. Read 5 pages each day and you're becoming a reader. Wake up on time daily and you're becoming disciplined. Once that identity is locked in, you don't need to force yourself. You simply live it. The best part? Anyone can start. No talent needed. No special knowledge required. Just a simple decision: today, I'll do this, then do it. Drink enough water. Avoid checking your phone for the first 30 minutes. Breathe deeply before reacting. These seem small, but they can change your direction entirely. Big changes always begin with small shifts. Like steering a giant ship, a tiny turn of the wheel now leads to a completely different port over time. You're no different. If today you shift just one thing, wake up 10 minutes earlier, focus 10 minutes longer, think 10 minutes more positively than a year from now, you'll be someone new, stronger, clearer, closer to your dream that once felt unreachable. Nothing is small if it's repeated enough. Start with something tiny. Be consistent. And one day you'll look back in awe, wondering how something so small brought you so far. How to stop waiting and start taking action. Have you ever asked yourself why you still haven't started? What's holding you back? Maybe you're waiting for the perfect moment, a day when everything aligns, no pressure, no fear, no chaos. A day when everything feels easy and you just step forward. But let me tell you the truth, that day will never come. The only perfect moment is the one you decide to create, and you must create it now. Most of us fall into the habit of waiting for someone to motivate us, waiting for better conditions, waiting for inspiration to strike like lightning. But in reality, this waiting slowly kills your potential. Every dream becomes a burden without action. Every opportunity turns into regret if you don't dare to act. So how do you stop waiting? How do you start taking action even when you don't feel ready? The answer lies in changing your mindset and applying these practical strategies to shift from hesitation to momentum. The first step is to set a clear goal. Don't say, I want success or I want a better life. That's too vague. Your brain needs clarity to move. Make your goal concrete. I want to read 20 books this year. I will learn 1,000 common English phrases in 3 months. I will save enough money to start my business by December. A clear goal becomes a compass that keeps your energy focused and directed. Next, create aerial plan. You can't climb a mountain without knowing the first step. Break your big goal into small, manageable tasks. If your goal is to run a marathon, start with running 1 kilometer a day, then build up, make a daily and weekly schedule, write it down. When your actions are scheduled, they become habits, not obligations. You also need to learn to generate your own motivation. Stop waiting for inspiration because it rarely comes at the right time. Action comes first, motivation follows. Every time you push yourself, even a little, your brain rewards you and that feeling grows. Just like pushing a wheel once is enough to get it trolling. Take full responsibility for your actions. Stop blaming the past, stop blaming other people, stop blaming the circumstances. Taking action is a choice, and it's your choice to make. Noon will walk for you, noon can live your dreams, but once you accept that power, you will stop hiding and start owning your life. Another powerful mindset is to see opportunity inside adversity. Life will never be ideal. You might be tired, busy, overwhelmed. That's okay. Progress doesn't require perfect conditions. It only requires you to begin. Don't time uses short gaps in your day. Don't have money. Use free resources around you. When you learn to extract value from difficult situations, you become unstoppable. And finally, the most important rule, start even if you're not ready. Don't overthink it. Don't wait one more day. Action is the only bridge from where you are to where you want to be. Take one small step, write one sentence, join one line class exercise for 5 minutes. Make one decision. Your greatness isn't in perfection, it's in the courage to start. You don't need to wait for motivation. You don't need someone to lift you up. You only need to believe that your action today, no matter how small, is shaping a stronger version of you tomorrow. If you stay committed to that, nothing can stop your growth. The freedom in taking control. There's a kind of freedom that doesn't come from how much money you have in the bank, how many vacation days you get each year, or where you can go and what you can do. It's a freedom that begins from within. The kind you feel when you're no longer bound by fear, by dependence, or by circumstance. It's the strength to stand firm in the middle of chaos without being swept away. It's when you look in the mirror and see someone living with purpose, taking responsibility, and trusting in themselves. When you take control of your life, you no longer need others to validate your worth. You don't wait for opportunities to come to you before you start. You stop using words like if only or I would but. You start saying, I choose to do this today. I take responsibility for the results. I may not control everything, but I control how I respond. So many people spend their whole lives trying to please others. They wake up because the alarm rings, go to work because they're supposed to, get married because they're pressured, and live in places just because they feel safe there. They make countless decisions, but few are truly theirs. They live by expectations, by habit, by the directions of those around them. And then one day they realize they're not living their own lives. When you come to that realization, there's an emptiness inside. Even if everything on the outside seems fine, Because the one thing missing is the power to own your life. No one else can live it for you. And only when you dare to take that power will you truly feel free. This kind of freedom is not easy. It doesn't mean doing whatever you want without consequence. On the contrary, it is freedom with discipline, with commitment, and with awareness. When you take control, you stop blaming. You stop saying it's someone's fault or blaming the situation. You realize that if you don't act today, no one can change your tomorrow for you. You no longer need anyone's permission to be yourself. You act because you know you are worthy and because you can create something different. When you take control, you start choosing what really matters. You learn to say no to what drains you. You leave behind places and people who dull your light. You set boundaries, not allowing others to cross your values. You don't let others decide how you should feel or which path you should take. You listen to your own voice and follow it. You take risks. You know you might make mistakes or fail, but you keep going. Because you understand that mistakes don't make you weak, they make you grow. And the greatest freedom is the freedom to make mistakes and the freedom to change. The joy that comes from owning your life doesn't come only from big victories. It's in the small choices you make for yourself. Waking up early to read or exercise, not because anyone told you to, but because you wanted to. Saying no to a job you no longer love, not because you're reckless, but because you know your value doesn't lie in enduring. Pausing in the rush of life just to ask yourself what you truly want. These small acts are the milestones of true ownership. You no longer live to run from fear or to please others. You live because you know what makes you feel alive. Taking control doesn't mean controlling everything. Life will still surprise you with setbacks, failures, and unpredictable turns. But the difference is that you no longer react blindly. You respond with intention. You accept what can't be changed, but don't let it define your whole life. And in that moment, you are truly free. Not free from the world, but free within it, no matter how loud or chaotic it gets. If you're living on autopilot, if you're waiting for something or someone outside of you to change your life, remember this truth: no one gives you freedom. You claim it. And you can start today with one simple choice. Wake up an hour earlier to care for yourself. Say no to something that doesn't align with your heart. Write down what you truly desire and commit to it step by step. From those small acts, you begin to reclaim your power. And when you take back that control, you'll feel an energy awakening inside you, bold, alive, and completely yours. No one can take it from you. No one can give it to you. Only you can choose it. And if this story touched something deep within you, please hit that like button, share it with someone who might need to hear it, and subscribe to Kunzy Podcast English. Here, we don't just tell stories. We listen. We heal. We walk together. Every subscribe from you is one more step on the journey of learning English, not just through vocabulary and grammar, but through stories that touch the heart.